afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start, let me ask, anyone of you here know about NTU confession? Yes. Okay, good. Then have anyone of you actually used the system of NTU confession? That is better. No man is an island. As the years goes by, actually communication has been part of our life. And the years goes by, that means technology rapidly growing, which means that communication has evolved in various interesting ways. One of these ways, of course, is by NTU confessions. So today, my group will be presenting about NTU confessions and what's the benefit of it. Before I start, let me introduce the presenter for today. I, Yohan, will talk about the background history of the NTU confession, as well as the steps on how to make the confession. And in addition to that, will be some example of interesting confession. Followed by me will be Ryan William Jaya, who will talk about the reaction of the general public reaction about this confession, as well as the pro and cons. Last but not least, Agung will then talk about the impact brought about by this confession and what the conclusion of our group reached, as well as future recommendation by it. A background history of what NTU confession was ironic as it seems. It was actually invented by two NUS computer science students with the alias Brian and Richard. They first pioneered the US version of it before creating the NTU version on February 1st, 2013. By 3 years of its advertisement, the page actually has gathered at least 3,500 likes on the page, and this has been increasingly popular. As you said just now, you guys actually know about this NTU confessions. So, but actually only a fraction of us really know how to make a confession. So let us guide you on how to make these confessions. First, in the Facebook account, you can actually go to the NTU confession page. Ryan will help me to show you how to make the confessions. From this page, we need to enter a valid delegation number. Ryan will use his as for demonstration. Continue. Then after that, we can start writing any confession you need. Yeah, press submit. What are the chances of this confession to be posted on Facebook page? I guess it's 0, because this confession is actually inappropriate. My friend Ryan will further discuss what is the meaning of inappropriate content. So let us see some of the example of the interesting confession that has been submitted. As you can see, the first one is by a final year boy who actually say that I saw you a few times at school saying, I don't know what is that. Though I didn't even get your name, you have very unique disposition and you are very unique disposition. Okay, this is a lot of confessions. Then another confession was made by an all five resident. He said that he complained that his coach was listening for 1 hour. It's a complaint confession. And last but not least, admin can make a confession even though it's insightful but it's not interesting. So let's keep it there. What makes actually this confession is better than the other social media mentioned by the previous group was that you can actually your post is actually anonymous. That means there is no such conflict between employer or something because it's actually anonymous. So what do you think of this confession? Is it good or is it negative? My groupmate Ryan will further discuss about the reaction of the people from this confession as well as the pro and cons. With that, let me conclude and welcome Ryan.
Alright, thank you Yohan for the introduction of the NTU confessions. Now we'll look further on the focus of the presentation itself. So it consists of two parts. The first part is about the reaction of NTU students itself towards the NTU confessions page, as well as to further examine on the pros and cons of the anonymity factor of this page. So let us firstly have a look at the reaction of the page. So as you can see here that the page has gained up to 12,000 likes up to this day, and actually more than 1,000 people are actually talking about this. And as compared to the similar page, which is NTUSU page, you can see that they only get less than 7,000 likes, along with 400 people are actually talking about this. So these kind of facts imply that actually the NTU confessions are considerably well known. And the next, let's go further on the pros of the page itself. So the first is to discuss some sensitive subjects, like your medical conditions, relationship status, or either your GPA. So you can always post that kind of actions without affecting your daily life in a negative or potentially harmful way. And the second consideration is about the objective evaluation you can get when you post something on the page. Because you will not be judged based on your past experience, your past performance, or your old self, which might be uncomfortable for you. And the third reason will be people will appear to be more equal and free to express their thoughts. So you don't have to worry about your gender, about your status. You can always post whatever you think about something about on a page. And lastly is to facilitate timid people to actually establish contacts with others, which might be of course beneficial for themselves as well as for the other users of the page. And on the contrary, let's also have a look on the cons of the page. The first cons is of course bullying, then racism comments, and some impersonation of individual or individuals. And the second is, how can the offender ever be held accountable? Because if you refer to the terms and conditions of the page itself, it states that the administrator has pledged not to reveal the identity of the confessors. And the third point will be some inappropriate contents like topic about sex and usage of vulgar words, which is apparently not appropriate and might affect the image of the institution itself. And here are some examples of the contraction, so just focus on the last two sentences here. However busy you may be, always spend some time with your family. Life is truly all about the good vibes. So there are actually some confessions which you can learn from and can be found on the page. But on the other hand, you can also find this kind of negative confessions. Don't worry, I've censored this one. It's a topic about sex, which might affect how people see and hear about this, which might affect the institution itself. So, along with the pros and cons of this anti-confessions page, so should it remain exist or should it be removed? Therefore, I'll pass on the time to Agung to conclude our presentation.
Thank you, Ryan. Now I'll continue my part on impact as well as conclusion and recommendation. First, let's take a look at its positive impact. As mentioned before, in its first 3 days, anti-confession has managed to reach about 3,500 likes, where currently it stands about 12,000 likes. Due to this huge increasing intention from the students, Associate Professor George from Ukimi School of Communication and Information has actually made his comment about the positive impact of this anti-confession. Basically, he said that with this kind of confession page, actually we can get more diverse view, which means that will increase our chance of receiving good advice. I will further illustrate this good impact in this slide. Actually, in this convention, the students share his views or rather critiques about the whole application system. So, as you can see, with this kind of convention page, actually the student can share their views or even critiques to the university's policy. Furthermore, they can actually share it more freely because their names will not be shown in the page. But just like two sides of coins, anti-confession has also a negative impact. Let's take a look at that. First, actually, a few months earlier than anti-confession, there was a similar confession page set up by Boys Tech University student. But it was taken down just after 5 days because the authority of the university is afraid of potential lawsuit that can happen due to the false content on the page. In addition, they are also afraid that they have a bad reputation because a lot of irresponsible posting. This also emphasized by Swansea University. They suggest that actually this kind of convention page can actually trigger a lot of irresponsible posting, which may hurt the students' future prospect employment. So I have reached the conclusion of this anti-confession. First, actually anti-confession has received a huge attention. Therefore, it is actually a good and useful media for us students to share our views, but it definitely needs more improvements. We recommend that actually, first, more restrictions should be applied to all the posts. Actually, in the page itself, they have already specified that there is no racist, vulgar, racial, sexual or obscene remarks. And this kind of post will be automatically rejected by admin. But reality speaks differently. As you can see, this is actually a vulgar post. I'm sorry for showing this. But this is actually a vulgar post, but the admin still post it. And it means that they are actually not consistent with their specification that been set by themselves. they should reduce the less counterproductive posts, such as the love confession posts or the vulgar posts that I mentioned before, and they should focus more on the more useful posts, such as the critiques or reviews on the university policies. And lastly, actually they should carry out the survey to the users on what should or shouldn't be posted on the page, so that actually the page can serve us better. So, will NTU convention last forever? As we know that Singapore is more conservative society, where the freedom of expressing our views in the public is still not widely acceptable. So the survival of this NTU convention will depend mostly on the capability of the admin to actually choose the appropriate content to be posted on the page itself. Thank you very much for your attention. Any more questions?
So how does it do you moderate it now? Is it automated or there are people appointed as moderators?
It's set up by the students usually. So they will be the one who decide whether the convention will be posted or not posted.